Blimey O'Reilly. Hey, welcome to another bike review out of Appleyard Motorcycles in Keighley, and today I'll be taking out this here fantastic Aprilia Tuono factory. Never ridden one of these before, so looking forward to this. Now then, if you're in this neck of the woods, and even if you're not, get yourself up to Appleyard Motorcycles in Keighley. Now, I've been riding motorcycles for best part of 4 decades now, and I've bought and parted company with more motorcycles than I care to remember, and I can say hand on heart that in that time Appleyard's is one of the best, if not the best, dealerships in the country. They have a real family feel to them as a local dealership, but they're also part of the wider Moto GB group. So lots of reasons to come here, stacks of stock both new and used, and plenty of demonstrators for you to take out any time of year as well. Get yourself to Appleyard Motorcycles in Keighley. Wherever you are, it'll be worth it. Right, without further ado, let's climb aboard this here Aprilia Tuono factory and see what it's all about. Right then, so here we are, aboard the Aprilia Tuono factory V4. I'll tell you what, you can just feel those 180 horses wanting to let rip with this engine. Oh, look at this here, we've got a quick shifter, so let's give that a try. 1 to 2, superb, to 3, to 4, to 5. Oh, bloody hell. Let's go down the box. 4, 3, 2, yeah, good quick shifter. 3, 4, 5, yeah. Quick shifter as standard on the factory model, and the handling is as sweet as you like, really tight and precise. What we really expect, I suppose, from 17-inch wheels front and rear, and the fact that this has the very much upgraded Öhlins electronic suspension. Of course, being the factory model, you get all the bells and whistles with this here bike. See a very clear 5-inch TFT there with the digital readout of speed on the left, and then just to the right of that you have your gear position indicators surrounded by the rev counter. Then to the right of that your fuel gauge. Then you have your traction control and automatic wheelie control settings. There are also 3 rider modes, and this has got more electronics, this bike, than you can shake a stick at, and more than ever I'm likely to remember while I'm up here riding it. But I tell you what, it has got a pretty sporty riding position. I suppose you could get used to it over time, but I suppose my perception was that this is really the stripped back, naked variant of the fully faired RSV4, and so my sort of expectations are that it It's not going to be anything like as sporty a riding position as that bike with its clip-ons and the way the sets are located and all the rest of it, but it is still pretty sporty. I can certainly feel tension in my shoulders and a bit of weight on the wrists, but I should point out, I should heavily caveat that observation with the fact that I've got slightly dodgy shoulders and wrists. Hey, touch of the old arthritis. A lovely slick gearbox, 6-speed box, and as we've just seen, a pretty good quick shifter. Ooh. So if you want to pretend you're Valentino Rossi, this would be a good bike to do it on. What is it and what is it not? Well, I suggest it's not a long distance tourer. I'm not saying you couldn't do that with it. Obviously you could, because any bike becomes capable of that use to which you successfully put it. Does it not? Not forgetting that old Teapot went round the world on a Gixxer. So of course that's always doable. But the question always arises, where's its sweet spot? Where does it excel? In what particular space in the motorcycling pantheon does it excel? And this excels in the entertainment side of riding a motorcycle, because it's a hoot. And it's a good job it's packed with electronics. It's a good job it's got 3-stage wheelie control that is actually progressive and that learns as the bike becomes accustomed to your riding style, because I can feel this front end wanting to lift. So it's got all of that, and it's even got a bit of electronics that can detect if the rear end's about to part company with the tarmac. Hey, so, and obviously all the ABS and traction control and 6-axis IMU and lean sensitive ABS, all of that malarkey to tame what would otherwise be a tempestuous beast for to ride. Oh, calm yourself, calm yourself. My word. I feel like doing a bit of the old Royal Enfield there with the Scousers. Calm down, calm down. Oh. She just wants to fly. But the suspension is absolutely superb, as you would expect. Top of the range Öhlins, electronic. Very sure-footed indeed. Yeah, what a winner. Yeah, put a smile on your face, this bike, without a doubt. Now I know I keep saying that if I were 30 years younger, 20 years younger or whatever, this would be the perfect bike for me. I do not mean to imply by that, not for 1 minute, that if you are significantly older than 30 or 40, that this bike isn't for you. I'm sure there'll be some 90-year-olds out there, I'm sure, that still be able to get on with this bike. It's just my dodgy shoulders and wrists that make it a little bit uncomfortable after a protracted period in the saddle. The saddle itself really comfy. 836mm seat height, which sees me almost flat-footed. But yeah, this bike is capable of shredding your license. So on the British roads, you're never going to legally exploit half of its potential. Of course, you could always go on track and really put this thing through its paces. Sadly, I don't have the talent for that. Okay, so let's just check these brakes. Nothing behind. Front brake. Oh my word, God, that is keen. That front brake is awesome. Rear brake. Adequate. Hey, as is often the case. I think it's only Royal Enfield rear brakes that really surprise you. With just how keen they are. Makes up for the fact that the front brakes on Royal Enfields are not that keen. But anyway. The sound of that engine, it's got the sound of a thoroughbred pedigree racing engine, which is of course exactly where its DNA is at. It's, I suppose, aimed at being a more manageable version of the RSV4. And never having ridden the RSV4, I'm not really in a position to comment upon whether or not this is more manageable. It certainly is manageable, just about. But I can just feel this engine screaming at me, get a bloody move on, Wheeler. You're riding like a budgie with chapped lips. Ooh. Blimey, O'Reilly. Oh, absolutely merciless. Right, what I'm going to do now is turn up. This road's the most uneven road in the entire county, and we'll sort out the wheat from the chaff amongst suspension on any bike or car for that matter. So let's see how how the old Aprilia copes with this helter-skelter road here. Don't worry, that's not the bike, it's like that. Whatever you ride on here. Actually, pretty damn good. Certainly the bike doesn't feel as if it's ruffled or discombobulated. It's holding its line, and a lot of bikes up here, once you get above 30 mile an hour, just all over the bloody shop. Not this. Nicely planted. Yeah, so having ridden this bike for about half an hour now, I would make two initial observations. Number one, the power delivery is absolutely brutal, hey, as you would expect. And number two, for me, at my time of life, it's a bit uncomfortable. Now, don't get me wrong, if I were 30 years younger, maybe even only 20 years younger, this would be an absolutely stunning, blistering bike to own and to ride. But with my somewhat crotchety wrists and shoulders, I won't want to do more than an hour. But of course, that doesn't apply to everybody. That's something subjective entirely, all to do with my muscular skeletal issues. But anyway, other than that, what an incredible performing bike. Stunning shove. Hey, shove, I was searching for a word there. A stunning amount of shove. 180 brake horsepower, what do you expect? But yeah, just look at that. What a piece of kit. Wow. Right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to plonk myself upon this here bike and we'll go through some facts and figures. Ooh. Right then, so this here bike has an 836mm seat height, and I am just about flat-footed with a relatively wide but comfortable saddle at the waist of the bike here. Now this bike, it weighs in wet at 211 kilos, so not too bad at all. Now fuel range on this bike, well, it's an 18-litre tank, and the quoted MPG, so far as I can find with a little bit of research, is just under 40 miles per gallon. So really 150, 160 mile range on this bike will be about your maximum. But that's about par for the course for bikes in this category. Aye, so let's talk about this here V4 engine, 65-degree V4 engine, double overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, liquid cooled, and with a fly-by-wire electronic throttle, and it kicks out 180 brake horsepower at 11,800 rpm and 121 newton meters of torque at 9,600 rpm. What an absolute beast of an engine on this here bike. Incredible. And boy, do you know it when you get on the old throttle. So yeah, absolutely stonking power delivery from this bike. Right, now we've talked about the performance of this engine, let's talk about two very important things that go along with that, and that is the braking system, the braking performance, and the suspension, the handling on this here bike. Now then, so brakes wise, up front we've got two 330mm discs sporting 4-pot Brembo calipers, radially mounted, and on the rear we've got a 220mm disc with a single pot caliper, and both front and rear brakes very, very keen indeed. Plenty of stopping power when you chuck them anchors out, absolutely up to the job. Suspension wise, we've got, this being the factory model, of course, we've got Öhlins suspension, electronic Öhlins suspension, 43mm upside down front forks on an electronic system, which I believe is called Smart EC2. And the standard bike comes with SAS suspension, but this has got the Öhlins electronic suspension front and rear. Yeah, and very capable suspension it is indeed. This bike, front end 117mm of travel, and really stable, really comfortable, and takes to the bends like it's on rails, as you would imagine. So yeah, I mean the suspension and the brakes are right up there, and exactly where they should be given the performance of this bike. Yeah, what else can we say about this here bike? It's packed with electronics. It's got 3 rider modes. It's got 3-stage, would you believe, wheelie control. It's got several stages of traction control. It's got rear wheel lift inhibition. What else has it got? 6-axis IMU, lean sensitive ABS, you name it, and every electronic package under the sun that you could wish for in a bike of this nature. If you're into your track days, you can get a race pack, you can get an awful lot of upgrades for this bike, but as standard, the factory comes with an absolute cornucopia of electronics. If gizmos is your thing, I'm not so sure. Gizmos is my thing, but on a bike like this, maybe it has to be so. This bike's got cruise control, it's got a quick shifter, and let's have a look at the riding position. It is pretty sporty, as you'd expect. Very acute angle at the knee there. And as I say, notwithstanding the fact that it doesn't have drop clip-ons, the position of the bars relative to the rest of the bike and your body is such that there's a lot of weight on your shoulders and wrists, which would be fine if you don't have dodgy shoulders and wrists like me. So that only applies to me and people with similar conditions, really. Hey, 17-inch wheels, front and rear, cast alloy. Must have missed something, but there's an awful lot there, isn't there? The lights at the back, would you believe the brake lights and tail lights and indicators are all in the indicator units? So that's nice, neat and tidy, as you'll have seen on the walk around. But a cracking bike, who's it for? Well, anybody that wants a super naked, I suppose, and wants a bike in this category. Basically, a high performance sports bike with a sort of straight handlebar setup. And yeah, hugely entertaining. So we need to talk about the competitors. The obvious ones that spring to mind for me is the Ducati Street Fighter V4S, I believe it is. That bike, a bit more expensive. This bike comes in at 18,300, there or thereabouts. And the non-factory, the standard spec, comes in at something like 15,500. So 18,300 for this, whereas the Ducati, I think something like 21, 22, isn't it? So it's not as pricey as the Ducati. The other competitors would be the Triumph Speed Triple RS, similar sort of power delivery, BMW S1000R, and maybe to a certain extent the Honda Hornet 1000, although that's only about 150 brake horse. So yeah, if you're in the market for something like this, what a cracker. Alright, so that'd be it, won't it? So from the heart of Yorkshire once more, thank you for watching, and in the meantime, and until the next time, ride safe, be kind, and I'll see thee